Okay, good morning and welcome back to our microprocessor and IoT course. I believe this is class number 8. Yes. So we're going to discuss about IoT architecture. So starting from today, we're going to discuss finally about IoT. Because before the mid-exam, we discussed about the microprocessor and then how it works and how it interacts with memory and how it interacts with the input output. And then also we discuss about microcontroller, and then we discuss about how to program development board and why do we have to use development board. And now we're going to discuss about IoT. After the mid exam, we start discussing about IoT. And for the IoT, first we're going to discuss about the architecture, because in some reference we have several references, and some of the undergraduate thesis use different type of reference, so they provide, well, actually interesting different point of view of how the IoT architecture is supposed to be. And then after we discuss about the IoT architecture as the foundation about what is actually IoT, and we also discussing about the sensor and also actuator. And for the next class, for the sensor actuator, we're going to use the TinkerCAD. And then after that, we're going to discuss about how to use the display. And then after that, we're going to discuss about connectivity, like how an IoT device can send data to the internet, or vice versa, how the IoT device retrieve data from the internet. In that case, we have to identify which connectivity that we're going to use, whether we're going to use Wi-Fi, Zigbee, narrowband IoT, long range, or etc. Because every technology has its own power, has its own benefit, and also has its own drawbacks. And then after that, we're going to discuss about the IoT platform. And in this case, we're going to use the Google Firebase, how to send data from our IoT device to Google Firebase. Okay. And then after that, we're going to discuss about IoT dashboard. Is just another feature from the IoT platform, because IoT platform usually only a place to so we can store data from our IoT device. For example, at this time the temperature is 27 and the humidity is 98, and then several hours later I'm going to send another data. For example, the thermometer at that time is approximately around 21 degrees Celsius, and also the humidity has reached 99%. So that's when we use the IoT platform, and in this case, it's Google Firebase. It's a place to store data. There are several features as an add-in to the IoT platform, and one of them is dashboard. Using dashboard, we can see the data in timeline. For example, at this date, today, we send several data, maybe for every hours. We can see the graph, the temperature changing using a graph on the dashboard. And then the last presentation, the last class, we're going to discuss about best practice presentation, but unfortunately, because we are still on the online meeting, so we're not going to do the project. So instead of doing best practice presentation, we're going to invite an expert from outside of our campus to well, share their story or share their knowledge about how the IoT work outside this campus. Okay, so in the hope that it will give us a broader point of view about how can we do the IoT work. Will be expanding or it will be decreasing. Okay, now, so today we're going to discuss about IoT architecture, and in this case we're going to use the standard from ITU-T is Y22060. It's an overview of Internet of Things. Actually, it's a quite old standard. It was released on June 2012, so almost 10 years ago. But the standard is, in my perspective, is still working fine if we were going to use this standard as a reference. Okay, the title of this standard is Global Information Infrastructure Internet Protocol Aspect and Next Generation Network. So the Y series of ITU-T standard is about next generation network. But for the Y2060, especially discussing about IoT, overview of the IoT. Okay, so several things that we're going to discuss from the standard. Okay, before we start that, the Y series start with the global information infrastructure, and then also the IP Internet Protocol aspects, and then next generation network. And one of them is the IoT. So IoT from the ITU-T perspective is next generation networks. Now, the first thing that we're going to discuss from the standard is this one. Technical overview of the IoT. Now, based on the standard, ITU-T split or differentiate between information world and also the physical world. Information world refers to, like for example, today is kind of hot, but some people will argue with that. No, it's not hot. It's pretty cool actually. Not cold, not hot, but cool. So it's perfect temperature to go outside for some people, but for some other people, it would give you another opinion that it's very hot to go outside. That's what we call information world. Everything is relative. So hot for some people, maybe it's really hot, but for some other people, it will say that no, it's not very hot. It's a good temperature. So that's what we call information world. Everything is relative in information world. Now, if we want to process that information, we need a device to transform that virtual thing or that information to something that quantifiable, so we can quantify it. For example, this is hot. Okay, if you think this is hot, let me think about what is the degree of that temperature. Is it 21 degrees Celsius, 25 or 30? Because in my opinion, more than 30 is hot, but 25 to 30 is pretty cool actually. And 20 to 25 is cold, but under 20 is very cold for me. But for some other people, it will give another point of view. So before we can process the information, because information is very relative, we need to give a standard. So that standard for temperature is, we can use Celsius, we can also use Kelvin, or we can also use Reaumur. So that's why before we talk about hot, cold, or cool, we need to, well, agree on something or some level that it's quantifiable. It can be quantized to a specific value. And for hot, cold, and cool, we can call it temperature degree. And to transform from that virtual or that relative things into something that quantifiable, we need something that we call physical thing. Sorry. We need this as a physical thing. And that physical thing will transform from that virtual thing. This is the virtual thing, for example. But because this is in information world, the temperature could be hot, cold, or cool. So this could be hot or cold. But after we transform that temperature using a physical thing, here, now we can have a value. And that value could be, for example, 20 degrees of Celsius, for example. That's the purpose of physical thing. Okay. Now, physical thing in real world, we usually call it sensor or temperature sensor for in this case. So temperature sensor is a device or is a sensor that will transform from information world, something that relative, into something that quantifiable, has a value. For example, 20 degrees of Celsius. Now, to process that value, we need something that we call IoT device. So this is the device. So this is the sensor, and this is the device. And we usually use something that we call development board. For example, we can use the Arduino, or we can use the Node MCU, or Raspberry Pi, etc. That's what we call IoT device. Something that will tell the sensor, okay, now is the time for you to transform or get information from the information world and then make it quantifiable. So I can measure in which degree of Celsius the information from the information world. So the IoT device is the one who control the sensor. Now is the time for you to sense the temperature and give me the value. That's the purpose of device. And then another purpose of device is to process that information. And then the third purpose of IoT device is to send information to the internet or into the communication network. Okay. Now, so device in this case has three purposes. The first one is asking sensor to get the data from information world. Second one is to process the data. And the third one is to send that data. So this is the three purposes of the IoT device: get, process, and send. Okay. Now, how do the device send the information? Well, from the ITUT point of view, it has three ways of sending the data, three ways of communication to send the data. The first one is communication via gateway. This is the example. This is the IoT device. To send the information, we need to use the gateway. And then beyond that gateway, it can interact with another device. When do we use gateway? Is when the network with the capability of the IoT device, or maybe in some other word, the IoT device cannot communicate directly to communication network, because the IoT device, I don't know how to talk with the communication network. I just know how to send data in maybe plain text, maybe using the RxTX or RS232 or RS485. That's the only thing I can do to send the data. But the communication network, for example, they use TCP/IP. Oh, I don't know how to communicate using a TCP/IP. I don't have a TCP/IP stack. So in this case, we need gateway. So gateway is something that transforms the communication between device. So the data can be sent using the communication network protocol in this side. For example, TCP/IP. Okay. However, if the IoT device is already able to communicate directly to communication network, for example, the IoT device has the capability of using TCP/IP stack. So in that case, in this case is B, the IoT device can communicate directly to the communication network. So it can directly communicate with the network without the gateway. Okay. Now the third communication type is direct communication. So without using the communication network, we can design IoT device to have direct communication with another IoT device. For example, in this case is C, direct communication between IoT device to another IoT device. Some people will call it machine to machine. So actually, machine to machine communication is still an IoT. Because some people will tell you that this is IoT. If you say this is IoT, and IoT stands for Internet of Things, and you are using machine-to-machine communication, where's the internet? This is not IoT. Some people will tell you something like that, but based on the ITUT Y2060, machine-to-machine communication is still an IoT. Okay, so don't worry if someone tell you that machine-to-machine communication is not an IoT. Actually, it is. Because there are three types of communication in IoT: via gateway, without gateway, and direct communication. Okay. Okay, next. The second thing that we're going to discuss from the standard is the IoT reference model. Now, based on this standard from IoT standard, it declared or it defined the IoT reference model in 4 layers. The first one or the top one is the application layer. And then the second topmost layer is service support and application support layer. And then network layer. And also the last one or the bottom one is the device layer. And this is the explanation regarding the each of the layer. In application layer, we have something that we call IoT application. So we have IoT application in the application layer. Okay. And then after that, below the application layer is the service support and application support layer. It has 2 functionality. The first one is generic support capabilities, and then the second one is specific support capabilities. And then the network layer, it explains about 2 functionality. The first one is the networking capability itself. So how do we send data from one IoT device to something else? Maybe another IoT device, or maybe to the IoT platform, to the storage. And then how to transport capabilities in the network layer. Do we need handshaking before we send data? Or do we need perhaps acknowledge after sending data? We expect the other part, the other partner, for example, the IoT device, will send you acknowledge to make sure that, oh, you already got my data. That's transport capabilities. And then the last one, the bottom layer one, the bottommost layer is the device layer, which has the 2 functionality. The first one is device capabilities, and the second is gateway capabilities. Now, this is explanation about each of the layer. Application layer is something like its IoT application. Remember, this is the layer. It could be reside on the IoT device, or it could be reside on the IoT platform, or even in the maybe in the gateway. So don't think about, okay, this is the Arduino Uno, this is the internet, and then this is the IoT platform. It's not something like that. It's layer or reference model that could be reside in its node. For example, we could have all of these 4 layers in the IoT device. Or maybe we can have all of these 4 layers in the IoT platform. Could be. Okay. So don't think about, oh, this one is the IoT device, this is the network, this is the IoT platform, etc. No, not something like that. So application layer is the application layer contains in IoT application. It could be data processing. For example, several IoT devices right now has the ability to image classification or image identification. So that's why in application layer, it has a very broad range of application. For example, maybe for image or for classification, or maybe, for example, for data storage only, or maybe security or sending data, etc. Now, the service support application layer, it has two capabilities or two capability groups. The first one is generic support. Inside the generic support is the data processing or data storage. So it could be processing data, or it could be storing data, etc. And for the specific support capabilities, it could be to provide, it could be for to provide different support function to different application, because service support application support layer is at the one layer below the application layer. So in this case, the specific support capability, one example of one capability in the specific support capability is to support the different type of application, IoT application. Okay. Now, the third layer is the network layer. It has two types of capability. The first one is networking capabilities, including the mobility management, authentication, or AAA. So AAA is the authentication, authorization, and accounting. Authentication is who can enter my system. And then after a user has authenticated itself, okay, you are a legit user, you can come in. And then what can I do in this system? That's what we call authorization. So authorization will give you a specific role. Okay, you are allowed to delete data, or you are allowed to modify data or update the data. That's what we call authorization. And then for the accounting, it's something that we call, okay, you have done something, I need to record that. So we can trace back whether it is a legit user who changed the data, or is it maybe someone else or a hacker or something. Okay, that's for the networking capabilities. So it has the, of course, network connectivity, and then access and transport resource control function, mobility management, and AAA. And for the transport capabilities, because we have network capabilities and also the transport capabilities, the purpose of IoT, the purpose of transport capability is to transport the data or transport of the IoT service, application specific data application. Actually, it's just data. So how can we transfer data for the IoT related control and management information? Do we need acknowledge, or we just send without acknowledging that all my data already received by the recipient over there? Because without ACK, without the acknowledge, I'm not going to be sure that the other party already received my data. So it's something that we call control and management information. Just like in TCP/IP, we have the TCP, and also we have the UDP. Okay, now the last one is the device layer. In device layer, we have several capabilities, two kind of capability. The first one is the device capability. In device capability, it can have the direct interaction with communication network, where devices are able to gather and upload information directly using or without gateway. And then indirect interaction, devices are able to gather and upload information to the communication network indirectly through gateway capabilities. So this is without gateway. This one is using gateway. So that's what we call interconnection. Or ad hoc networking, where device it can sending data from one device to another device. And then for the gateway capabilities, it can has the multiple interfaces support. So it can, okay, are you going to communicate with me using Zigbee? Okay, I'm capable of doing that. Or do you want to use Bluetooth? Or do you want to use Wi-Fi? Because all of them, I'm very well capable. And then it can also do the protocol conversion. For example, the IoT device communicate with the gateway using, for example, Zigbee. But the network in here, it uses the TCP IP. So the gateway, one facility of the gateway is to do protocol conversion from Zigbee to TCP IP. Okay. Now, we'll discuss about the application layer, service support layer, and network and also device layer. We also have the management capabilities and security capabilities. Capabilities is the device management. How can we add a new device into our system without reprogramming the system from the start? So it's supposed to be, okay, I have a new device. I'm just going to register this device to the system, to the network. Okay. This is the management capabilities. And for the security capabilities, well, at the application layer, we have the AAA, and then we can also how to secure data using CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and then privacy protection, and then also the antivirus, for example. And then at the network layer, we can use the authorization, authentication, and etc. We can use the data signaling. And then how can we ensure that the data signaling is also confidentiality, and also its integrity is protected. And at the device layer, we can make sure that everyone that going to access the device layer, it will provide the authentication and authorization protocol, and also the device integrity validation, access control, and also data confidentiality. Because we don't want to anyone able to enter my IoT device and then change the data. That will be very horror for me. Okay. I think that's all for any questions so far.
Sir, for the
Yes.
final, are we going to have final exam or final project?
Okay. We haven't decided about that yet. Probably because sorry, let me. Okay. Because in Microsoft and IoT, we only have project and also project or final exam and daily quiz without any assignment. So because the mid exam already a multiple choice exam, so probably for the final exam it will be a project. Probably, but we haven't decided about it yet. I'm going to give you information maybe 2 3 weeks before the final exam.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you on 2 weeks from now, because, sorry, 3 weeks from now, because May 11, we still have the holiday. So we're going to meet up again at May 18. Okay. Thank you for coming and happy holiday.
Thank you, sir.